tell you that I started playing World of Warcraft, Legion. I kind of wanted to play it before then too, but never really got around to it. I was telling myself,
I am out of range.
I've done more of a trainer before, but I did it for a bit. I don't know, it's just kind of enjoyable. And I went to Pandaria. I actually really like the area. Got on this lady. And I don't know what to say, like I got kind of bored. I ended up coming back here to Legion because I've done the warrior before. I love the content and all of those things. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm not the storm line.
I'm a target.
I like corn. One of my first characters is
Target something first. I must get closer. Autopilot. You good? We switch to the leveling and you want to save yourself a little bit of time. But that bug keeps telling me to go all the way over there, and I tried resetting it. Reset. Reset, but instead of telling me Draenor, and I don't have any quests there. See? All I have is this, and yet it's still telling me to go there. Just I started there, it's still telling me.
I'm listening.
Very active.
Dark Lady watch over you.
Oh, I keep doing that even though I reset it. Oh well.
Shadowlands. Okay, that's weird. No. Get rid of that. Interesting. Okay. That's my first time messing with that, and I guess I figured it out. Fair enough. He's pretty good at problem solving, but I feel like it's not helping that much. Okay, alliance. Go with no, it's unfair. It's fair. Ah, yeah.
Target. Too far away. I need to target something first.
We got the queen into a rowboat, but she didn't want an escort. Told us to stay behind and fight. My guess? She landed somewhere up the coast and continued on foot.
I am out of range. I do not have a target.
No sign of Sylvanas in the hills. What have we here? That's one of hers, all right. Do not test me.
Eat up, lad! We've a witness! You won't stop my heart!
Fool dwarf. Deliver his head to the foothold.
What's wrong with liking dwarves? I like the little people. Dwarves, gnomes, politicians. What? Really looking forward to Shadowlands. Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, I want that out. Oh, never mind. That's a travel form. That's so sick. Wait. How come I don't have these?
Out with it!
Strength alone will not win what you seek, but it will get you started. Find me near Agramar's vault, and I will put your strength to the test.
I'm listening. Victory for Sylvanas.
That was automatic, but something I gotta do.
Too far away.
Oh. I'm an idiot.
I must get closer. Too far away.
Oh, no. That's not fair. Maybe go down this way, huh?
It is none other than Odin's champion. The vault before you holds not gold, but wisdom. I have heard tales of Jotnar is its lock, and glory is its key. Forge a key in the blood of champions, and perhaps the lock will turn. Inside, you will find paths and more. Listen well.
Wow. Okay, I'll be like 2%.
I am out of range. I must get closer. Too far away.
The darkness gonna take you!
I must get closer.
Darkness gonna take you! The rightful champion is nowhere to be found. Oh well, the heads of the other champions will have to suffice.
I am out of range. Too far away.
Oh, no.
I am out of range.
Right there. 2 minutes. Miss it. No, it's coming. minimize that. I remember that Preach sent us a. Where is he? Preach. Ah, there it was. It was right there. Big Shadowlands update.
Can you make this letter?
Living under a rock.
Ladies and gentlemen, as Shadowlands approaches in just 4 days, and we have plenty to talk about, as well as a wonderful interview with Mr. Ian Hazakostas and Wowhead, clarifying things that we have been wondering about since the beginning of the Shadowlands Alpha, and it's great to actually have that information now available. Let's start off with the launch night. We will, of course, be having a huge launch stream in order to celebrate the launch of the Shadowlands, and alongside that, we have about £1,000 worth of stuff to give away. We have everything from Shadowlands Collector's Editions, BFA Collector's Editions, 2 of the brand new Yeti X microphones from Blue, along with a bunch of other stuff, game time, things like that, in order to give away for you guys throughout the night so we can all enjoy a big celebration, have some fun. This is going to be open to everybody. It's not EU only. However, I will point out that the accounts that come with like the Shadowlands and the BFA Collector's Edition, for those of you who collect those things, are EU accounts. But that's not going to stop me sending you the box, which I imagine is what most people actually want. If it's about the pets and things like that, I understand the concerns. I just really don't want to lock anybody out of the competition for minor reasons. But, you know, that's the way it's going to be. We will be starting at 9 p.m. GMT. That is London time. 2 hours before the game comes out, as we're also going to be simultaneously launching our website to go along with it. So that should be super cool. We have been preparing a lot of stuff there for you guys to enjoy, as well as some prizes and things like that. So it's going to be a hell of a party, and I hope you guys tune in. Let's move over then to this interview that happened with Wowhead and we did finally get some answers to some long-winded questions that we have had. It's actually it wasn't a riveting interview, it was factual, which is great to see. A really factual interview with Ian talking about just general ideas. They did bring up the idea of covenant swapping again. In general, they're talking about the fact that they're going to use major patches to make major changes. So this is good for 2 reasons. One, they recognize that once people have chosen a covenant at the start of the expansion, if Blizzard then go in and start tweaking and messing with it almost immediately after, all that early work and early progress that players put into the covenants is going to feel wasted. Whether or not it's technically wasted because of the renowned catch-up system, which is also in this interview, is debatable, but players will feel like they wasted their time regardless. So what they're saying is, yes, covenant changes will of course occur, which is not surprising. They have gone down the road, which was very predictable, of reducing the strength of a lot of the systems that the Shadowlands is launching with to try and avoid massive congruent problems with things scaling up and synergies just getting a little bit crazy. They actually used the Fire Mage example of using Lucid Dreams and Bracers and all those combinations in 3.3, which led to Fire Mages being absolutely disgusting. That was the example he used there because, frankly, it does get out of hand. And there are going to be synergies, especially when they put the game out to absolutely everybody, that come up that they're not prepared for. So what they're going to do is try and leave the covenant abilities as they are until major patches, and then if necessary, and again, this is if necessary, this is not a ripcord, as some people are saying. They've mentioned the ripcord again. Not really. What they're saying is they may allow you to switch your covenant without the problem of having to work to get back to it. So if you were Kyrian at some point, then you will realise that was a bad one, so you did use the very easy transfer to swap over to, say, the Necrolords, but then in the next patch they just massively changed Kyrian, and you're like, well, I want to go after Kyrian, but now I have to go through this kind of tedious grind. They may remove that aspect of it, so you get almost like a free transfer back to a Covenant, even though if you tried to do that mid-tier, that would be something you'd have to work towards. So, those are 2 very good points. They're working on that aspect. The other point is that the devs still very much recognise, as much as it's been debated amongst the player base, is that there is a significant problem between tying players to covenants and the fact that these things come with player power. And they recognise that people care about those things, and they can't separate them, and they in almost a stubborn style, they don't want to separate them. So they're trying to think of ways around it so they can basically have their cake and eat it too, in terms of how the Covenants are supposed to work and the player power and the spells, because that's the reason you would want to switch if they did maybe overhauls to them. It might also be the case that they change, say, the weekly events if one of them is being significantly rubbished and the players aren't happy with it. That could also play into it. But in the inclination and what they're suggesting here is that, yeah, maybe the current Kyrian spell is garbage for hunters or whatever, for example. And then in the next tier it's really, really good, and you want to swap to it, then they may open up the door to make that free. So that's really nice to see what they're doing. They did mention some stuff on class balance. There's a little bit of strange ones, such as if a class is, or a spec, more realistically, is performing well above and beyond its brothers. So if Arcane Mage, for example, is just dominant over Fire and Frost, do they have an internal idea of saying, well, you know what we're going to do then? We're going to decide now this tier, Frost is going to be superior. And we're going to bury Arcane for that while so that everybody gets their moment in the sun. It was quite nice to see that, like, no, we're not going to do that. If a spec is overperforming because of its nature, which is what happens unless we had all classes that do exactly the same things, which nobody wants, then, you know, we'll reduce its strength if it's just clearly, say, for AoE, it's just doing 6 to 7 times more damage in AoE. But we're not going to kill that aspect of it. Like, if it's a naturally heavy AoE spec, it should do well in AoE. It shouldn't just crush everything in the game, which we have seen some elements of in Shadowlands Beta recently with some classes that still have uncapped AoE, for example, are still dominating. They may do some changes, but they're not going to kill it. Now, in the past, that hasn't really worked. Blizzard has traditionally taken the hammer and nail approach instead of light touches to classes. They tend to just crush them into the ground. So hopefully that's something they're trying to avoid as much as possible here. Talking about Renown then, and swapping and catch-up systems and alts and all that kind of stuff, the expectation that Blizzard is going for any of you who are concerned about the fact that you may need to swap Covenants, or you may want to do your alt later down the line, how far behind it's going to be. Is it going to be like Azerite Power, where it took quite a while until late game to actually catch up? What they're saying is within a couple of weeks you should be fine. In the singular week, you'll be viable. You'll be decently caught up on your Renown. And of course your Renown is what's going to unlock your soul binds and conduit slots and things along those lines. But after a couple of weeks, you should be good. Basically what they've done with Renown is they have created a lot of opportunity for places where Renown can come from. Killing dungeon bosses, doing your emissary quest, which is now called Callings. But they don't do that when you're up to date. Like, one of them will, but the rest of the 6 throughout the week won't do that. What they then say is for the catch-up system, they will do that, right? If you need to catch up, then yeah, you're going to have Callings that give you Renown. You're not going to get that on an up-to-date character, but you will get that on a different character, allowing you to catch up. So they've created a lot of opportunity where Renown could exist. It just doesn't if you are already caught up. You'll get your standard 3 a week. And then if you do need to catch up, those sources will then drop Renown, allowing you to catch up really, really quickly. So that was very, very cool as well. I want to mention legendaries a little bit. So some people tweeted me because they've been tweaking the length of time it takes to get legendaries. This is one of the best announcements. In fact, 2 announcements I'm very, very happy with that Blizzard's just made. The first one is that they're only going to unlock the first 3 layers of Torghast, which is how you get your Soul Ash, for the first few weeks, and then over the course of the season they'll unlock like layers 4 through 6, and then eventually 7 and 8. This is a wonderful change. It was something I was definitely worried about, is that week 1, and we've done several videos covering this, because this thing we're announcing now has not been in the game, is that your first week, there's a temptation to do like 9 Torghast runs back to back. With a group of friends, and it's really tedious, it's really, really boring, it's not fun in any way, shape or form. And not only that, if you fail the run, which people will do, it's okay for me to say who's done like 1,000 hours of Torghast already. For everybody who's getting in there for the first time, of course in the higher layers you're going to fail and then have to redo them. So maybe you're looking at 10, 12, 13 runs and getting very frustrated and very annoyed at the system. That's not what it's there to do. Instead, what they're going to do is limit it to the 3 layers. That should be doable by most people. If you need some help, get some more gear, get some friends together, you can do Torghast in a group. And then later on, they'll unlock it a bit more. This is a great change. I know there'll be people who will be angry that I just want to get it done now. I understand that. But overall, this is a much better system. I personally, as much as I love Torghast, was not looking forward to grinding out all the layers week 1. in order to just get souls. There's no other purpose for me to do it. It doesn't reward anything else. It would have been super tedious. It would also have been incredibly difficult because layer 8 is very hard and it's easy here. So I'm far happier they're saying, no, just 3, because your average player is still going to be wanting to get tempted. Players who can't do it will be angry at other players who can do it, and they're going to feel behind and do all that kind of stuff. Alongside that then, they have increased the cost of getting the base item levels and the amount of crafts it takes to unlock the recipes to get the higher tier legendary items in terms of their items. So in order to create legendaries, you need this base item, such as a blank pair of shoulders, a blank set of boots. Those are made by relative crafters, so leather boots are made by leather workers, etc. And the way that system works is those crafters have to craft a certain amount of, say, rank 1 to unlock the recipe for rank 2, and then they have to craft a certain amount of rank 2 in order to get rank 3. Now, you can upgrade your legendaries, but what Blizzard don't want, and I totally agree with them on this, is what they don't want is the highest item level legendary to be the standard. They don't want that to be something that's like accessible week 1. People are going immediately into the top 1. We might as well have not even bothered with ranks. That's not what the legendary system is supposed to be. It's supposed to be something that's upgraded over time. For many, many people, they will only ever be getting a single legendary. That's what's super important. Is they will only ever be getting a single legendary because they're going to know which one is their best, they're going to get that recipe, and they're going to craft that one. So what they don't want is for you to be done with the legendary system week 1. That's totally understandable. I'm totally fine with that. So what they've done is made it so crafters have to craft a lot more. This is good for people who love crafting. Now, this is going to be a bit of a problem for people who love to do absolutely everything and play in their own enclosed universe inside World of Warcraft. There are a lot of people who simply just want to have one character that can provide absolutely everything they would ever need in the game, or perhaps their own account. Instead, this time, people who are crafting are dedicated to crafting, dedicated to farming. Of course, multi-boxing is gone now as well. All those things are going to play into the hands of those guys who enjoy that, and they should also make a lot of money out of it as well. So I'm more than happy with this. I'm happy with the legendary system taking time. As I said, a lot of people are probably looking at the full list of legendaries, especially collectors, which isn't what's going to happen for a lot of people. They're going to go, what's my best one? Where do I get the recipe? Okay, I'm going to craft that one. And that's how it's going to work. And they don't want those players to just be done with the whole legendary system after 1 week. So I'm more than happy with this. In terms of the recipes then, a question we have had for such a long time is that some of the legendary recipes drop from things like world bosses. And the question was asked is, are they 100% drop rate? Or what is the story with the recipes in terms of their sources? And Ian's answer to that is quite good. If something is, say, a world boss, which is on a multi-week rotation, you only have 1 week to try and get it, that's going to be 100% drop rate. Thank God. You're going to get it. If it's from a dungeon or something, then it's not 100% drop rate. It's not as rare as, say, a legendary from Legion by any means, in his own words. But if you target it, you know that recipe comes from there, then running that dungeon, you should net it. That's a simple process. So consider it like a loot drop. You should be going for it and should be getting it there. There's no bad luck as far as he's aware, but that is how it's going to be. Conduits got a similar idea as well. Some confusion apparently in the community as to how conduits would work in terms of the higher item levels. As Ian points out, it's the same as any other system in the game. As you do higher content, it will drop the item level appropriate for that. So there will be a conduit for your character that has a... we'll use the raid example for the bandings here, but it's the same for NPC and PvP. There's the normal mode version, there's also the heroic mode version, and there's the mythic mode version, which has slightly different item levels associated with it. The effect is the same, it's just a higher item level for your character, and that's all it's going to be. It's a very simple process, nothing to be overly concerned about. One thing he does say is it does not drop from your Great Vault. Okay, you're not going to be hoping that a conduit drops from your Great Vault if you do Mythic Plus and things like that. Instead, if it is a conduit that drops from dungeons, it will drop from the dungeon. Very similar to relics, so let's hope and pray there isn't some very, very obscenely good conduit that drops from a dungeon and you're going to be back in the situation some people were in Legion where they were like begging people to run them through, say, Karazhan 15 over and over and over again just to get a relic, just to get a conduit. Let's hope that isn't going to be today. He does go into a number of other options such as Master Looter and Personal Loot and things like that. Not stuff I particularly agree with. We didn't, me and Ian, and Warcraft in general certainly did not see eye to eye on this situation, and some discussion on Mythic Plus. The only other aspect I really wanted to look at was the Maw. The Maw we've done a number of videos on. Ian does compare it to Timeless Island Mechagon. I don't feel like that's the case with the Maw. It still feels underdeveloped to me personally, but you guys might have a different point of view, just like Dan, Mr. GM, has a different point of view. He quite enjoys it. But as he does point out, World of Warcraft is not great with, hey, here's a place, go and do stuff, and you'll find stuff to do. No, they're not. Players do like to have some indication of where they should go, what they should be looking for, what is the purpose of this. We do like to know that rather than being thrown into a zone and say, hey, find out anything that's happening. We do like a little bit of breadcrumb here and there. And they have put in breadcrumb, which they absolutely have. I still don't think it's a particularly fun place, but that is something they're doing. One thing I can tell you, though, is those obnoxious abductors that we made a video on last week. It's a new introduction of the Jailer's Eye of the abductors. They have changed them significantly now, so you can actually DPS them. You can break them so that they can let you go, so they don't just kill you. They have made some changes to them to make it far less frustrating on your way to earning the item, which actually stops them working entirely. So that's very, very cool to see as well. The main point I would take away from this interview, actually, is something we spoke about last week, which is the mentality change that's going to happen with players during the Shadowlands. Because this is, for many people who started, say, post, I would almost say Mists of Pandaria, we are going back to an era where Blizzard is not just going to provide you with a to-do list every single day. They're not going to do that. Instead, the only, as Ian pointed out, and as we have pointed out on the channel as well, the only thing you really want to do is say as mandatory content for your character in terms of your character's power is going to be getting 3 renown a week, which isn't particularly difficult to do. Getting a couple of Torghast runs in to collect your Soul Ash, which takes less than an hour, and that's it. But that doesn't mean there's nothing to do. In fact, there's an enormous amount of content to do. It's just you should focus on what you want to play. You should focus on doing the stuff you enjoy. And this is going to be that mentality change, and I know Blizzard's waiting for it as well, where Tommy's logging in. Blizzard haven't just put a screen in front of him saying you should do X, Y, and Z and then pointing that out to them every single day. And I have no doubt many of you out there who are listening to this are going to log into the Shadowlands, you're going to cap, and then you're going to have this sort of impulse, this compulsion to go and do world quests and stuff. And as we tried to point out, you don't really need to do that. You can get some anima from there for your weekly, but you can get your anima from any source you want. You don't have to be going and doing that content, but for many years now, players have been trained that, oh, I've logged in, there's world quests up, there's emissaries up, I should go do those, right? And that's not going to be the case in the Shadowlands. There's so much for you to focus on, but it's your choice where you go, and it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a difficult transition for many players, and Ian has reiterated here, is like, we're trying to let you guys know, as much as we possibly can, go and do what you want to do. We're providing you a theme park, essentially. Go and play whatever, go on which ride you want to go on. We're not going to force you to do it. So I hope that really takes over. So those are the key important points, guys, of what is happening in the Shadowlands. For those of you who've been asking, yes, my head is recovering nicely. I am on Allcraft in a few minutes, so if you're not catching this video, this video should be going out about 8 PM. So 1 hour from this video going out, I should be on Allcraft with Asmongold and Rich. For those of you who are watching it a bit later, I'm sure the VOD will be up later to get that pre-release Shadowlands hype going. So thank you very much for listening, guys, and I'll see you again. Bye-bye.
Welcome to the World of Warcraft Survival Guide for Shadowlands, our upcoming expansion in which you'll explore the uncharted realms of death beyond Azeroth. In this video, we'll take a look at the new features and changes coming in Shadowlands, including 5 new zones, customizable legendary items, covenants, a new arena, and Torghast, Tower of the Damned. After cleansing Azeroth of the remaining vestiges of the old god N'Zoth, we again find ourselves in grave circumstances. The fallen Horde war chief Sylvanas has sundered the veil between worlds, and Azeroth's greatest heroes are pulled into the Shadowlands. Here, you'll confront the wonders and horrors of the afterlife with newfound abilities, as its inhabitants deal with the consequences of the Banshee Queen's actions. Adventurers who are level 48 or higher will receive a summon to meet with High Lord Bolvar Fordragon in Icecrown and kick off the events that take them into the Shadowlands. When you go to the other side, you'll discover 5 new ethereal zones. The Gleaming Fields of Bastion, the war-torn necrotic wastes of Maldraxxus, the Twilit Forests of Ardenweald, the Gothic Spires of Revendreth, and the hopeless depths of the Maw. As you travel through each realm, you'll meet memorable characters along the way and help the ruling 4 covenants restore order to the Shadowlands. Upon reaching max level, you'll be able to pledge yourself to either the Kyrian, Necrolord, Night Fae, or Venthyr covenant. Each covenant offers its champions 2 special abilities, a signature ability and a class ability, that will change your playstyle in a significant way. Covenants will also provide you with other powers and cosmetic rewards that can be unlocked through a Covenant campaign, an epic storyline unique to the faction, along with access to your Covenant Sanctum, a hall only accessible to players who have forged a pact with its rulers. When you join a covenant, you'll be able to undergo an ancient ritual called soul binding and merge your soul with its mightiest members. By doing so, your character harnesses their power, gaining access to formidable bonuses. Over time, you can unlock new tiers of power and even switch soul binds when strategy demands it. Your soul binds can further empower your abilities with conduits, which can be earned by completing content throughout the Shadowlands. Each covenant also offers a special activity only available to their members. Kyrians will test their mettle in the path of ascension. Necrolords get to build their own abomination. Night Fae can tend to a celestial garden, and the Venthyr will host an elite invite-only gala and defend it from devious party crashers in the Ember Court. At the heart of the maw stands Torghast, Tower of the Damned, a prison for the most vile souls in existence. Inspired by roguelikes, this highly replayable instance has an ever-shifting interior that offers a different experience each time you enter, and with each floor cleared, you'll face stronger foes and gain new powers to take on the mounting challenges that the jailer has waiting for you. Vanquishing Torghast's unhallowed halls will reward you with crafting materials, which can be turned into powerful legendary gear by the Rune Carver, whose power forged infamous instruments of death throughout the ages. Completing content within Shadowlands will give you access to new powers, which you can select between to further empower your gear, allowing you to customize each piece. Shadowlands also brings a new PvP arena, the Empyrean Domain, where you'll do battle in the skies above Bastion and test your skill against equally powerful foes. Wins in PvP will net you honor and conquest currencies, which you can use to purchase PvP gear from a vendor within the new capital city, Oribos. You'll also discover Adventures, a tactical twist on previous expansion's missions, in which you'll use a party of 5 troops to solve combat puzzles and earn rewards, including pets, mounts, gold, and more. To secure success, you'll need to place your companions strategically on the board to counter threats and squash enemies. You can check in on your adventures on the go with the WoW Companion app. Adventures will unlock after you choose your covenant at max level. And that's just the beginning. When we next meet, we'll cover Season 1 content for PvP, Mythic Keystone Dungeons, and the new raid, Castle Nathria. Keep an eye on worldofwarcraft.com for more details on upcoming content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the Shadowlands.
Sweet. Okay, that was cool.
I dwell in the Shadowlands.
Oh, I can't go to Storm.
Death cannot stop.
Oh, I remember. It's by where Hoppy is.
Hello. The next
Let's be honest. BFA. I was excited when BFA was announced. I thought it was cool. Just execution. Right? It wasn't the idea. Although it's going to be tough for an expansion fall. Legion was just this combination. And I know it's not couldn't get into it. I really couldn't. I wanted to do the raid. Got my clothes, get up a bit. Just, I still was not motivated enough to do it, so. But, you know, let's just hope and see that Shadowlands is gonna be successful. So far, it's definitely looking that way.
I am out of range. I require a target.
This way. There's a good spot right here. This ought to be good. Ready to fly. You should be able to latch onto that spot at the top of the wall. Follow me.
Too far away. I do not have a target.
Just kill someone else. I have to wait again now.
I must get closer. I am out of range.
Oh, you got the blue proto drag. Gotta keep trying. Gotta keep trying. Can't give up. Chances are not good.
Target.
Hey, over here. I've got a plan.
Too far away.
You get airsick? Good luck out there.
Well, if you say so.
You've already busted to the stars! I'm broken.
I am out of range.
You've already failed. The Thorinir are broken.
Even now, we break the dragons to serve us!
I feel like that
Only
guy having a
I
dragon
possess
is a
the
bad
power
thing.
of the Thorin Year! The Aegis will be mine! Give up, outsider! You are not worthy of the halls of valor!
I want that one, buddy. Gotta wait. After I do this, I'm gonna go back and kill everything. I don't want to go back and do that.
Worthy of the Thorin's power! I must get closer.
Now's our chance. Let's get up that tower.
Come back down. Oh, I need it all broken.
Good day for flying. Yeah, you're on your own from here. Good luck.
I'll be fine. Just, start at 55 freaking percent. Project. I want it so bad. Oh, those are 5%?
Too far away. Of the Thorin's power. I am out of range. I do not want to touch it. Target something first. I must get closer. Too far away. Power. You have already failed. The Thorin are broken. I am out of range. I must get closer.
See ya. Hey. See ya. Maybe that's what hit me. I was gonna say, get that. Stack Hawk. Level 30. I wish I get the 16% EXP bonus. Get a few levels there without that.
Wait! You are not like the others. I am out of range. Too far away. The dragon's down the I must get closer. Go! The storm is my ally. Fear not the storm. Too far away. I am out of range. I must get closer. I am out of range. Kneel to the God I require a target. I must get closer. Too far away. Target something first.
I am free! You are a true savior, outsider. Speak to Bathir! He will take you to the summit!
The storm's fury awakens. I stand with you! The Drekkajar have upset our ancient pact. It is time they face the consequences.
Even as someone not of this land, you chose to save us from a wretched fate. You have passed the trial of will, and you have also gained an ally. Hold aloft your weapon, outsider. Accept the power of storm and thunder as a gift for your selfless acts. The Drekkajar must pay. The storm will prevail.
We take wing with Bethir, friend, and show these Vrykul the true fury of the storm!
The storm will purge Skovald from this land. The unworthy will be thrashed and suffer the wrath of the Thorinir. The storm will purge Skovald from this land. The unworthy will be thrashed in the gale winds. The storm will purge Skovald from this land. Suffer the wrath of the Thorinir! Your trials are far from over. When you need the unworthy will be thrashed in the gale winds. It seems that a messenger awaits. May the gale winds carry you, friend.
2 trials faced, and 1 remains. You must seek the judgment of the ancient kings. But they are dead, and you are not. There is one who can bridge the gap, if you indulge him. Meet me at Valdistal, and I will spin the tale.
But they are dead, and you are not.
In Housewald, the Bone Speakers keep the dead. They will not help you. Their ways are twisted. They have forgotten the old vows. But there is one who remembers. One who is rooted in the old ways. Seek Vidar. Earn your judgment and pass the trial of valor. You're here at last.
Greetings. Look tall. Go forth to victory.
Oh, maybe it's just... Forward is not gonna have max stoic speed, but this is still better. Shadow the Colossus. Sure.
Glory to Odin! Glory to Odin! May your battle end in victory! Hail, champion!
I serve a greater power.